Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Renewal Center's Tea Time Tuesday. We are so excited that you're joining us today. Yes. We are bringing in November, and I'm telling you, we closed out October with some great renewal practices last week at our special Tea Time Tuesday. Now we're here in the month of November, and we're ready to move forward with some great renewal practices. We want to say good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to the Renewal Center, and today is a time of pause, reset, and building resilience. And so we ask that you would like and share this broadcast so that others can join in with us. And so I'm telling you, this is a great afternoon. I don't know where you're tuning in from, but we're glad that you're here. Go ahead and invite your friends to join us today. And then, hello, Pamela. It's good to see you this afternoon. Thank you for chiming in. Good afternoon. Hello, Joseph. Wow. Oh, okay. Hello. How are you today? It's good. Blessings to you too. And there's Sharon. Hello, Sharon. So glad that you're chiming in this afternoon. I'm telling you, we are so excited because this time of pause, reset, and building resilience is going to take us into our topic today, which is going to be amazing. It's called the quest for quiet. Yes, courage from fixing others to forming ourselves. So I can't wait to see what Patrick is going to share with us today with our renewal practice. Patrick, I'm in a posture. I'm ready.
Pausing. Yes.
I am ready. And so we want to send a special announcement for those of you who don't know. Hello, Alicia. Hello. We got some more chiming in, our renewal community. Hello, Dr. Brown. Hello, Dad. Thank you for tuning in today. We are going to celebrate 5 years. Well, actually, we are in the middle of celebrating 5 years of renewal here at the Renewal Center. I'm telling you, we want you to join in with us in celebration. 5 years anniversary, 5 years of ministry in the Concord, Charlotte, North Carolina area. And I'm telling you, we are so excited.
Yes.
All of the things that God is doing through the Renewal Center. And not only is he doing great things through the Renewal Center, but he will continue to do great things with all of our endeavors. And so we just want to say thank you to all of the renewers and all of the reformers, everyone who's joined us and all the different things that we have been doing at the Renewal Center. And we trust renewal is going to continue to take place in all that we do and through our endeavors and through the lives of others. So 5 years of lives being transformed, and we're ready for our next chapter.
Yes.
So we're thankful, right, Patrick?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So grateful.
Yeah. So on behalf of the Renewal Center leadership team, we are excited that you're joining in with us. So we're going to continue on with our tea of the week. Our tea of the week is pumpkin spice chai latte tea. That's a long type of tea, isn't it? Pumpkin spice chai latte. But this is a very heartwarming chai tea for fall. As you can see, it's really good. It's made with black tea leaves. We have some pumpkin spices with cinnamon and vanilla. You can add your milk and sweetener of choice. And this is just a wonderful blend, that you can have in the fall for any time of the day, morning, noon, or night. So our Renewal Center's tea of the week, pumpkin spice chai latte tea. And with that in mind, go ahead and put in the chat, what is your tea of choice today? Or what are you having? Some of us come on here and we have water and we're hydrating ourselves and smoothies. Hello, Darlene. Good afternoon to you. It's good to see you today. What are you drinking today, tea timers? What are you having out there? Go
Oh,
ahead and put it
actually,
in the chat.
I do have a chai latte, so that's what I'm actually doing. Not
Oh, you're
pumpkin,
doing that
not
too?
well, not pumpkin though. Mm-hmm.
I have something similar too. We
I
both
sure
we
do.
both doing the same thing,
I
kind of like
sure
a little
do.
vanilla chai tea.
Alicia's
Okay,
water.
hello.
Okay. All right. Refreshing. Mm-hmm. Some of the
Mm.
teas. Okay. We got hydration today. Water, water. Okay. Today's hydration day. uh,
It's a perfect day for some chai tea, and this is
it is.
good. This is really good. So while everybody's putting their chi of choice in the chat, we're going to go ahead and get ready to locate ourselves. This is a good part of Tea Time Tuesday because this is what we're trying to do on a Tuesday afternoon to stop and pause and relax, slow down, and get ourselves in a position that we can get some good nuggets and some good principles to help us move forward in our day. Okay, let's go to our video. Take a deep breath, relax our shoulders, and just focus in on calm.
Right.
Thank you all for taking the time to center yourselves. Patrick, you can go ahead and take it from here.
All right. Thank you, Carmela. Welcome, everybody. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Let's get the likes up out there on our YouTube channel. We're also streaming today on Facebook today as well. Haven't done that in a while. I think when I was linking things, it populated. So if you're out there in the Facebook community, hello, welcome. Please like and share this link on your pages. Hello, good to see you. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel at I Am Renewal, at I Am Renewal. And we want to encourage you to be a part of our Tea Time community. We want to get our subscribers up. We're looking to get about 200 subscribers by the end of November. We're about 138. So 70 something more people. Let's do it. Let's put it out there so we can get above 200 by the end of the month. So please share this link, share the content for the Renewal Center, share what we're doing here. And thank you again for supporting and being part of our community. Today, I want to focus a couple of things. When we think about what's happening in the world today, there's incredible disagreement, Carmela. There's a lot of disagreement. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of division. There's a lot of dissension, um, a lot of viral negativity in so many different places. And what I'd like to do is concentrate on from fixing others to forming ourselves. From
Wow.
fixing others to forming ourselves. So the focus today of our renewal practices is about the quest for quiet courage. Quiet courage. And really, this is about how change will start when one person defines themselves with peace and the importance of knowing how to define ourselves with peace. And so that is important to our focus today. So I want to give us a few renewal practices to help us navigate when you're dealing with disagreement. You can apply this in your personal life, your professional life, and definitely societal engagement, especially when you're online. There's so much that's out there, and we want to be mindful of what we observe and how we absorb it. So I want to take some time to focus on that. But before we get started, all right, we're going to give you a couple of foundational areas that I think will be helpful to help you to disagree well. How you can disagree well and not have that residue feeling when there's disagreement or that overflow or that angst that you feel because you disagree with someone, you disagree with a team decision, you're disagreeing with what's happening out there in media or social media or what's happening in general, narratives, all those viral uh, engagements, whether it's sound clips or videos, they get to you. It's misinformation, disinformation, and it's overload. What do we do? How do we, as renewers, as tea timers, what do we do to engage in this? And how can we set set a focus on it. So I want to give you 4 renewal practices today that will help us. So we're not trying to fix anybody. All right. We're not fixing others. We're forming ourselves. I want you to put in the comments, forming myself. Forming myself. That's the focus. It's not about fixing somebody else. It's about forming myself and what I need to do in order for me to be on this quest for quiet courage. So first thing I want to talk about from a renewal practice, everyone, forming myself, put that in the comments, forming myself, is the quest is seeking renewal through self-definition. Seek renewal through self-definition. Now, this is important when we think about this to say, well, wait a minute, this quest, it's a journey. We're starting this journey in forming ourselves. We're not focusing on fixing others, but forming ourselves and how we are self-defining. I even sometimes call it self-differentiation. Self-definition is about this is who I am, this is what I believe, and this is how I will act. It starts there because when we differentiate ourselves, you want to define yourself before the crowd defines you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to define yourself before the crowd defines you. That's right, forming myself, forming myself, forming myself. So we want to focus on forming ourselves and we seek renewal through self-definition. The 3 areas, Carmela, we're talking about today is about this is who I am. That's defining your belief and your intent. This is who I am, and this is what I believe, and this is how I'm going to act. Why do you think it's important, T-Timers, for us to understand what self-definition or self-differentiation is? Because this is important in order for us to be effective in how we show up in different spaces. When you define yourself well, dealing with disagreement, dealing with conflict, dealing with what's happening in our world, you're able to define your belief and intent, and it helps you discern the real issue beneath the emotion. Beneath it, it helps you discern what's really happening in you and in what's happening in what's around you. So I want to start out first by when we think about this quest, the emphasis is this is who I am, what I believe, and how I will act, forming myself. I want to pause you for a moment, T-Timers. I want you to think about this. Carmela, any thoughts on this? When we think about this space of self-definition or self-differentiation, how does this is who I am, what I believe, and how I will act, how does that set a precedence from fixing others to forming myself or ourselves? Any thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm. I think if you're going into a situation, physically going into a situation, and you already know, or you are gathering that there's something going on right there. I like the fact that as you're going in, you're looking at yourself. You're looking within first before you formulate an opinion, before you form any type of outcome. You're looking within to see, okay, well, okay, I'm how am I feeling right now? Even as I'm walking in, you're acknowledging, okay, I feel tense. I feel something's not right. Okay, here it is again. Okay, what am I walking into? But then also looking at, okay, let me prepare myself. Let me draw upon some principles that I already know that's going to help me identify where I am so I can make needed adjustments before I walk into something. Or like you were saying, you're reading something or you're actually hearing something. Well, you're looking within yourself to say, is this something I want to engage in? Do I have to respond? Wait a minute, let me back up. Do I have to react? And so you am I going to react to this? And look, do I have all the facts first? Let me look within myself first, just to make some needed adjustments, to look and see how I'm feeling about everything before I actually just step into something full force without really looking at any adjustments made for myself. That's what I'm getting from this.
That's good. That's good. I like that approach. And I think before we show up in spaces, whatever places that we enter into, self-definition or self-differentiation is important. because I'm really predetermining, Carmela, this is who I am. And once I define or differentiate that, that could set the tune or the tone for the engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so important when we start this quest, I would call it. All right. This
I
quest
like
that we're
that.
on. All right. We're on this quest. So the quest starts with self definition or self differentiation, which helps us understand this is who I am, what I believe, and how I will act. T timers, what are your thoughts on this? How critical it is for you to understand self differentiation. How could self definition help you engage when you're dealing with disagreement? The importance of that.
Mm. Dealing with
And
this.
I do want to say that it's important that we become a thermostat of peace, not a thermometer of panic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're setting the environment instead of reacting to the environment. And I'm glad you said reacting, Carmela. And so it's important that even though we may not be able to calm the storm, we can stop letting it enter into us. So I may not be able to calm the storm, but I can ensure that the storm, whatever's around me, is not getting inside of me to where now I'm starting to react um, and focusing on fixing others instead of forming myself.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So
I
if you're
like
out there,
that.
tea timers, let me know. Forming others. If you're just starting out, type in the comments. Forming myself. That's important. All right. So our first renewal practice today is relating to the quest. All right. Seeking renewal or seek renewal through self definition or self differentiation and defining your belief, your intent, making sure that you discern what the real issue is underneath the emotion. And I would also say this, it's important to detach from the need to be approved, even in the midst of that as well. I want someone to validate that. No, you're not looking for the external validation. It's not about that. It's about you forming who you are and ensuring that the way that you are showing up in the space, you're defining yourself before the crowd defines you. A lot of people are reacting. They're just
This is good.
reacting, just reacting. No, 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 no. Define yourself before the crowd starts to define who you are. So important for this phase of our renewal practice. Any thoughts on that before we move to the next one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good because it goes back to the conversation that we always seem to have before about what are your core values. Going back to forming yourself,
Yeah.
focusing on yourself, being self-aware. Okay, what are my values concerning how do you de-escalate things? How do you deal with that when you're walking into a situation? Well, how am I going to deal with that? Something that jumped out at me when you first opened this up, when you talked about that peace
Mm,
and how if you're the person that's starting with peace, well, just like then on the negative side, it's a domino effect, meaning that okay, this is going on, then it affects someone else, and then now they're popping off, and then in the next one, now this is more disagreement, and it just keeps going on. On the other end, if you're coming from a place of peace, it's kind of hard to I say kind of hard to argue with a person who's calm and collected.
oh, there it is. Mm,
it's,
mm-hmm.
it's very hard to to really, I would say, argue or have all this contention with someone who's calm and collected, because
Mm-hmm.
eventually the same piece that's resonating from that person is eventually gonna be brought into the situation.
Yeah. That's good. Mm. Self-definition. This is who I am. Peace. This is who I am. I'm going to respond, not react. All right.
Right.
And we're talking all last month. We talked about emotional regulation, emotional awareness, empathy, social awareness. Regulate your emotion, regulate your responses, regulating your thoughts, regulating
Yeah.
reactions. I also want to say it's important to reflect on your interpretation because I might interpret things wrong because I'm focused on fixing others instead of forming myself. And so if my intention and my focus is on fixing others, then what ends up happening is I will focus my interpretation on someone else and not looking at me.
Ooh, that's good.
Hmm. That's where we want to start. So, friends, renewers, tea timers, y'all with me on this? All right. Quest, seek renewal through self-definition. What is self-definition or differentiation? This is who I am, what I believe, how I will act. All right. Sometimes you got to sit there and say, this is how I'm going to act so that I don't act a certain way. It's important.
Can I say something, Patrick? I like how you bringing this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put the slide back up again? The title, when you say from fixing others to forming ourselves, that takes the pressure off of us to try to control the situation.
There it is.
Because we can't control people.
Yeah.
That's not what we're designed to do. But I mean, I like the fact that takes the pressure off of us by focusing on ourselves.
Yes.
And how we can respond.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to just do something real quick. Hold on. I want to grab this lighthouse. Hold on 1 second here. I'm coming back. Yeah, it's a second. Let me grab this real quick. Just want to illustrate something. All right. So we got a lighthouse, right?
Yes, I love it.
This is one of my anchor items here in my office. And so Carmela, does the anchor chase the ships?
Say that again.
Does the lighthouse chase the ships?
No, it does not.
Interesting. So what does it do? It stands firm.
And it draws them.
It lets the light define direction. Now imagine if the lighthouse like, I'm gonna chase all the ships down, nobody would get to safety.
That's good. That's good.
That's why I look at this so that because I want to make sure. Wait a minute, Patrick. Hold on. You don't chase the ships. You point the light by how I will be, or this is who I am, what I believe, how I will act, because the lighthouse doesn't out there chasing the ships. Imagine it just detached itself. I'm tired of all these ships, and it just gets up and it just goes. And as a result of that, now nobody's safe. So as leaders, as renewers, it's important that we define ourselves before the crowd defines us. And you're somewhat of a thermostat, right? Because if we lose our definition, we hand our power to others. So I just wanted to impromptu kind of grab that and maybe share that as an illustration. All right. Hope this was helpful to everybody. Let's keep going to number 2. All right. Next one, quality. We talked about this last month. Deepen your emotional intelligence. Your reaction reveals your ruler. Ooh. So my reaction reveals my ruler. It reveals what's really ruling me. And so here it says, maturity is measured by your ability to remain non-anxious when others are anxious. All right. So let's think about this. We're talking about forming ourselves, not fixing others. Because when you lose yourself, you'll always lose the argument anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important, friends, that if you can't pause, you'll always pay. If you can't pause.
I'm trying to write that down.
I gotta pause, because if you don't pause, you're gonna pay eventually. All right? Because what happens is, you start getting out your frame, you become like the lighthouse, you leave your base in chasing all the ships instead of providing light and direction by saying self-definition. This is who I am. This is what I believe. This is how I will act. And so that's the start of the quest, but it's also moving into the quality of how I deliver. I also say this: the first to lose calm is the person who loses credibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've had to check myself, and I may have lost it or said something I wanted to say, and like, stay in your frame, stay in your frame. In other words, my foundation. All right. Some arguments are not battles to be won. Sometimes they're not a battle, Carmela. Sometimes they're a barometer. It kind of shows you the levels here. Like, okay, let me just pause. Let me take a step back and start focusing on forming myself and not fixing anyone else. Any thoughts you have on this next practice on quality. We did tie in EQ last month, but just want to get your response to this as relates to from fixing others to forming ourselves. What thoughts do you have?
My thoughts went right back to what you just said, and I'm just like can't get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
That lighthouse. I mean, the lighthouse has a reason for where it is, and why it is, and the function that it has. But then you said leave the base and chase the ships.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Now you're out. Now you're outside of the context of who you are and why you are.
Yeah. I'm going to leave the base because I want to win.
Mm-hmm. That could be a reason.
I want to let folks know. So I'm going to leave my base so that you can know, and I'm going to let you know. And you know what happens? I've lost my calm. Now I've lost my credibility, and I should react less and reflect more. Let's put that in the comments. You said that earlier about react. Everyone, react less, reflect more. We've got to spend more time in reflection before we quote unquote pop off, right? Before we go off or set it off or whatever off we want to go into. Okay. Sometimes, you know, so whatever off that is, right? Yes. Pop off, go off, set it off, whatever off it is. We need to react less and we need to reflect more.
Right.
And I think that in times, you know, and of course there's a time to speak up and elevate our voice as far as sharing, articulating with clarity. But I think sometimes our silence and our ability to be calm may speak more volumes than getting sarcastic.
Mm-hmm. Like getting the last word. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Thank you. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm going to win this thing. And so, you know, it is what it is. And all these other statements that we say. So we got to look at deepening our responsiveness, deepening awareness of how we respond. I do want to say this, and I want everybody to think about this as well. I want you to schedule reflection resets. Schedule reflection resets. So before you have a difficult conversation or even after one, just schedule a time for a reflection reset. Like, okay, wait a minute. Let me not focus on fixing the other. How can I form myself in this time of reflection reset? Oof. Because I think, you know, and I would encourage people also in this stage, we're talking about quality now, all right? I think this is important that, and Carmela, I had to learn this, and I'm still engaging this, many of you are as well. You got to build like disagreement rituals. Like, what rituals do you have when you're in the midst of this kind of tension? Do you pause? Do you pray? Do you process? What do you actually do? Like, and I'm talking about being consistent with it when I'm in the midst of a disagreement. And I'm not talking about just conflict individually, just collectively, community-wise, national, global. There's a lot going on, and people are reacting more than responding. So I think it's important that we schedule resets, like reflection resets. And what do you think about that? I mean, you talk a lot about gratitude. We know that. And what do you think about just scheduling, literally putting in your calendar as part of your life? I need to have a reflection reset, like, because right now, what's happening? Am I reacting? And again, we're not talking about fixing others, right? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a lot. That's a lot. I like what you were saying. What rituals do you have? It's like, what mechanisms work for you that you know is going to work to help you stay calm, help you reset, help you regroup, help you deflate, you know, all of it. Yes.
That's right.
That's right. Don't set it off. I mean, what rituals do we have in place? It's almost like, what is your contingency plan? You know, we have to tell, well, what plan do you have just in case you get snapped back, come back, all of that.
Get back.
Get back. What are you going to,
Push
how are
back.
you going to bring peace and calm into, what self-awareness, all of that. I know we're laughing at it because it's kind of funny, but, in terms of really where we are with that, because sometimes we are walking into situations or it's heated. It's a lot. You have your opinions, you have your viewpoints, you have, your perspective on things that doesn't, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that. I'm not feeling that. But then how do you step back and look at what plan do I have set aside, or what values or what core strengths can I draw upon to help me navigate through this time so that I am not trying to fix anyone else, but I'm looking at promoting peace within myself. And that's hard for some of us who are analyzers or the fixer-uppers.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. And it's interesting to explore, excuse me, why we do that as fixers. We instead of allowing it to be, I will say this, and I wrote something down here in response to what you said about fixing. You can't change every conversation, but you can change the climate of your presence.
That's there. Yeah.
So I have one occasion wanted to try to change the comment. Man, whatever, forget it, move on. Hold on, change the climate of your presence, because whatever the climate is, that's going to indicate what's going to come down. So
Right.
I know if it's cold, is it going to be some rain? Are you coming through like snow? Are you coming through like a tornado? Are you coming through like a hurricane? You got the first phase, you got the eye of the storm, and then you got your second follow-up, So I think we need to think about, and I'm glad you said that about, how fixer-uppers, do we change the climate of my presence?
Yes.
That's important. You said contingency. I think we can call that climate contingency.
Yeah, I like that.
What's the climate of my mind? Because the climate of my mind is going to determine what I dispense, what I put out there. All right. And we got to put this into practice. It's not a one-time thing. It's an everyday thing. It may not happen overnight, but I think it's important. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else out there got some comments coming in? Folks chiming in. Monique saying, "Oh, that's right. Snap back, get back, push back, go back, clack back." We use all kind of words today. Off, this, and that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's important.
That's
All right, let's
yeah.
go to the next one. And I do want to say this, Carmela, also, and I wrote this down from the Serenity Journal, yours actually, and I just reflected, and I put down, your serenity is your strategy. Your serenity is your strategy. Stillness is not weakness; it is wisdom under pressure.
Ooh.
So if we're going to be quiet, all right, informing ourselves, cultivate inner reflection and reverence before public speech or even postings. Some of us need a digital fast before online debates, those of you that are keyboard warriors. So I want to say that let's cultivate inner reflection and reverence before we say things or post things, or even if you're a texter. Make sure you cultivate inner reflection and reverence before you say things or post things, because your serenity is your strategy. We started out by talking about the importance of how maturity, self-differentiation is. This is who I am. Are you serene?
Yeah.
I mean, and be honest about that. Like, am I really a person of serenity? Or when I show up, folks like, oh boy.
This is good.
Patrick showing up, boy, I don't know. I ain't know, what's going on. So,
oh my goodness, that's true.
Yeah. So we need to think about this. The importance, again, this is about quiet. Now, again, we talked about react less, reflect more. And these are the times that we need to be able to, and I like what you said, contingency. What's the climate contingency? What's going on up here in my headspace? All right. Um, Disagreements. These are opportunities and invitations to begin again, to define ourselves, to grow in peace, to love without losing truth inside of what you're experiencing. These are so critical and important if we're going to be people of renewal. Let's go to the fourth one. Last one is quickening. The word quickening is to be make alive. So when we think about quickening, we got four Q's, all right, in our quiet courage today. Quest, which is seek renewal through self-definition or differentiation. Quality, which is deepening our EQ, our emotional intelligence. Quiet, cultivating inner, like this reflection before we speak something, before we are posting things. Many times our reactions are a revealer and it's a ruler. So when we react, it shows us where we are. I will say this: you cannot heal a system you are fused with. Mm, mm, mm. You cannot heal a system you are fused with. And
That's
if we're going to
good.
heal others, it begins with handling yourself first. What are your thoughts on that, Carmela? You cannot heal a system you are fused with. Hmm.
Ooh, that says a lot. A whole lot. You're a part of the fabric. How can you you're you're a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really all I can say. If you're part of that, how are you going to be able to? You cannot heal a system you are fused with. You're in the frame
There it is.
with it.
Right. So I need to step out of it. Hmm. I need to reflect, take a step back, look at myself, locate myself, do it. What's my contingency? How am I going to shift to that? Folks, this will help us immensely in terms of how we engage, how we are more, it's a barometer, so it shows us what's going on in the atmosphere. All right, we're defining ourselves. And I think that to be healthy in this kind of space is this healthy disagreement should or starts when I define myself instead of redefining you.
Mm,
So I want us to
mm,
think about that. And I'm just reflecting on that because I'm writing. There's some good journal
mm,
stuff. Woo! So, we need to think about how we are redefining others instead of defining myself because of a disagreement. Healthy disagreement
mm.
helps you look at where you are first instead of trying to go to back to somebody else and redefining them with false narratives as well because I want to win. So
That's a lot
I
of
just want to,
energy.
yeah, come on. So again, let wisdom and understanding reshape your responses. Carmela, what do you think we need to do to be quickening, to experience this quickening, if we're going to let wisdom and understanding reshape your responses? What are your thoughts on that, and also our tea time community?
Well, what are you anchored in? What's your foundation? I mean,
Okay.
sometimes you got to go to yourself and pull those up. Nobody is immune to it. We all get hot around the collar. We all,
Hmm.
walk into these things or experience these things, but then thinking, okay, what is my foundation? What anchors me? What is it that I can lean into, that I focus into, so that I don't step out and uh, be the catalyst for more issues or more problems or more disagreements or whatever is going on. But then being able to respond in a way, again, like I said, it's true. Now it's hard to argue with a person that's calm and collected.
Hmm.
On
Hmm.
either side. So even if somebody's gonna have to walk away, or come to your senses about, okay, well, let's find a healthy medium here to try to come together, or. But I think gathering yourself and finding out how you feel about the situation, and maybe figure out some ways to respond. What anchors you so that you can redirect yourself? Because it's a lot to try to. You can't fix everything.
They hope. That's right. You can't fix everything.
You can't fix
Absolutely, you can. Mm. Mm. is good. This is all I'm telling you, Mel. I'm glad that you mentioned reactions earlier because I
Yeah.
want us to anchor on that part again. I wrote a few additional thoughts down here because if I am able to respond well, then I become a living icon of serenity. I
Mm-hmm.
become a living icon of peace, especially in a polarized world. I want us, everybody, to think of we're so polarized. So the goal is not to avoid tension, but to embody transformation. So we're
Mm-hmm.
not going to avoid it. And going back to your reaction statement and your contingency statement, is we don't need to avoid the tension. Okay, it's there, it's going to be there. But how can I embody this transformation? How can I embody this uh, mindset or this
Mm-hmm.
contingency plan, right? The way, okay, if this doesn't go, here's how I'm going to focus.
Yeah.
This is who I am. This is what I believe. This is how I will act. And now I already have a proactive stance on my engagement. You'll get more focus on preserving your energy and who you are when you move from fixing others into forming myself or ourselves.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I like
All
the word
right.
proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm. Good
That's
stuff.
good.
Getting
Yeah.
some. Yeah. So again, let's just recap real quick. Want to go back to our first focus here, which is again quiet, seeking renewal from self-definition or differentiation. This is who I am, what I believe, how I will act. Again, quality, deepening your EQ. All right. Your ability to remain non anxious when others are anxious. Again, quiet, cultivating inner reflection and reverence before public speech or postings. Now, again, some of us need to practice digital fasting before online debates. That includes in your phone. All right. Schedule reflection resets. All right, before or after any difficult exchange, schedule a reflection reset. You know what? I'm just going to just reflect so that I can learn about myself and how I can be transformed individually. And then, of course, quickening, letting wisdom and understanding reshape your responses. That means you got to take some time to say, okay, how did I respond? Did I let wisdom and understanding reshape me? If I didn't, let me continue to sharpen that part because you cannot heal a system you are fused with. All right. Any last points, Carmela, you want to share? Anything that jumped out to you? And also our Tea Time community, what are your takeaways? What's new to you? What are you going to apply? Let's talk about that before we finish our Tea Time today.
Yeah. I think what's standing out the most is going back to the lighthouse.
Mm.
And I love lighthouses. But
Mm.
that really stood out because you kind of put the question out there, what are you going to do? What is the lighthouse going to do? Leave the base and go chase the ships? Because now you're out of your character, you're out of, you know, what you're who you are and
Mm.
what you're designed to be. If you just stay there and do what you're supposed to do, that you're doing what you need to do. And
Yeah.
so I just like how you did that. That for me, that stuck out, and it's going to be a reminder now for me.
Thank you for
That's
sharing that.
a
I
good quote
appreciate
for me to
that.
put on my computer. Don't leave the base and chase the ships.
Yeah. It stands firm and it lets
Mhm.
light define the direction.
Yes, exactly.
Chasing after
Yeah,
shit. This is good. Folks, let's not lose our self-definition because if we do, we
yeah.
give our power to other people. And as a result
Mhm.
of that, it's hard to rebuild that and restore that. We can, but you want to spend your time really focusing on that. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in and connecting today. What are your takeaways? We'd love to hear from all of you. What are your thoughts, your perspectives? Want to give you an opportunity to share your comments and your thoughts. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at I Am Renewal. All right. We love to see you here and connect with us on our Tea Time community where we pause, reset, and build resilience. Want to give you an opportunity to also support the Renewal Center. Here are the ways that you can give digitally. You can go to our website, therenewalcenters.com/give. You can text Renewal Center to 888-364-4483. Also through our PayPal and our Zelle, which is the Renewal Center 2020 at Gmail, and in Venmo at Renewal Center. Feel free to mail a check or a money order to P.O. Box 1381, Concord, North Carolina 28026. I want you to think about that, especially as we are celebrating our 5 years. Say, you know what, I want to partner with the Renewal Center. I'm appreciative. I'm experiencing renewal. I'm benefiting from all the renewal practices of Tea Time, and the other programming ministry that we offer to others. So I want you to really think about that and consider connecting with us and supporting us and being a partner with us. So definitely thank you so much for considering us and what we do. So love to hear from all of you on your takeaways, if you will. Carmela, if you can just give a brief announcement.
Yes, yes. We're going to be having Holy Communion. We'll be observing communion for the whole month of November. Join us at the table. We're going to start tonight, actually. I mean, not tonight, I'm sorry. Tomorrow night, excuse me, at Reforming Culture Bible Study. And so this is going to be a time of reverence and experiencing the finished work of the cross. We ask that you bring your elements, bring your sacraments with you, and we will be taking communion together. We will observe it together on our Wednesday night Bible studies and at Digital Discipleship on Sunday. So everyone is welcome. Please go to the Facebook page so you can find out how to, more information if you don't have your sacraments, where you can go get it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. And that will happen on Wednesdays, 7:30, and Sundays, as Carmela has shared with us. We do have our Christology of Spiritual Formation. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. So I want to invite you to that. We look forward to seeing you also each and every Friday, 6:30 a.m. The same Zoom link, ID and password. It's the same one for Wednesday. We want you to come on Friday as well and be part of our morning prayer. We want to invite you to that space as well. And of course, each and every Sunday, 10 a.m., we want to welcome you to the New Digital Discipleship. Please download the mobile app. Please go to our website, go to all of our social media so you can get the link to connect with us for our New Digital Discipleship each and every Sunday, 10 a.m. We look forward to seeing you there. And so grateful to have you here as we are celebrating this month our 5 years, celebrating our journey. 5 years of life transforming, the next chapter begins. So excited about that. I think we got a couple of comments, folks. Please leave your takeaways. Let's see what we got here coming in. All right. Okay, let's see here. Anybody else, please share. You want to read this?
Yes. Thank you, Monique. She's saying, I'm going to practice taking time to pause and reflect instead of knee-jerk reactions. Remain in a posture of peace and love.
All right. Excellent.
And then Darlene, she's saying, bringing the lighthouse in our view before responding is a divine strategy. Thank you, Renewal Center.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Anybody else? We got a couple of ones. Let's read this here. All right. Alicia,
she's saying, how invested are you in the matter? Why does it matter? What is the point of the conflict? What are my expectations and desires resolution? Some good points.
All right. I'd love to hear from you. Please continue to connect. Please make sure that you share this with others. So grateful to have all of you on today. We look forward to seeing you next week, 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. If not, we'll see you tomorrow for our time of communion, our time of reforming culture, and also Friday at 6:30 a.m. We'd love for you to be a part of the community. Thanks, everyone, for being a part. Let's locate ourselves as we close this out. All right. Have a very good day. I'm Renewal. Take care of each other. And let's pause, let's reset, and let's build resilience. See you next time.